The viewing and drawing area in Revit is this area right in the center of our screen that allows us to see each of our individual Revit views. In this case, we have the level 1 first floor plan open. In order to be able to tell that it's just one individual view, move your mouse up into the upper right-hand side of the screen and hover over this little double box that shows up here, and now select on it. By doing this, it'll begin to minimize this down on your screen. And we can tell that this is an individual viewport of our Revit database, or in this case, of the level 1 first floor view. If you want to be able to move it around on your screen, click and hold the mouse button down on the bar going across the top, and you'll notice that you can drag this from left to right or up and down on your screen. And technically, this big gray area is the background for your viewing and drawing area. Now let's move over here to the left-hand side and double-click on level 2. As we can see, this opens up a different view inside of the viewing and drawing area. It too has its own dimensions and properties associated with it. Some of these properties are controlled by the view control bar, which is where the scale and different view property buttons are located at the bottom of your screen. You'll notice that each of these different views, in this case the level 1 and level 2, each has its own individual view control bar with different settings that can be set in order to be able to adjust the way that the view looks. Also, each one of these views has these 3 buttons here at the top of the screen. If I wanted to be able to maximize one of these views in particular, select on the middle button, and it'll maximize out that view that you selected for the middle button. If you do the same thing again, it'll minimize it down so that we can now see both of our views. If we want to be able to activate one view over the top of the other view, move your mouse to the other view and click on the heading for that one. And you can now see that this one becomes the active drawing area and moves to the foreground of the drawing area where we're going to be doing our manipulation. If we want to be able to resize these windows, we can. Simply move your mouse over to the edge and it'll turn into a little double arrow. When you see this double arrow there at the edge of your view, click and hold your left mouse button down and then move the mouse from side to side. This is going to allow you to resize your window on the screen. So if we wanted to be able to have one window up in this corner, another window over on this corner, it's just a matter of clicking and holding your mouse button down and dragging it over in order to be able to resize these windows to the size that you'd like them to be. If you'd like to minimize these windows down so that they're no longer open, as far as being able to actually see the content inside of them, but you still want them open on your screen, move your mouse up here to the bar going across the top, highlight where this dash is at, and then select. You'll see that the view is still open, but it's been minimized all the way down and to the left-hand side of your drawing area. If we'd like this to be maximized back up again, you can do the same thing. Click in the same spot, but instead of a dash, you'll see 2 little boxes on top of each other, and this will expand it back out again. Also, if you click on the red X that's associated with the view, we can see that that will close the individual view down. Also, if we want to be able to expand this view out, you can once again move your mouse over, select on the middle button, which you can see is maximize, and it'll expand this out. So the viewing and drawing area, it contains each of the individual Revit views. Each of these Revit views has its own set of properties which can allow manipulation of that particular view.